Hey guys, Chris Yassine here, back from C&H Small Engine for another informative service and review video. This one will be dealing with what you see in front of you, a Toro CCR snowblower. This is a single stage non-self-propelled unit, and I'll give you a shot of the actual tag here as well too. This is a Toro CCR 2450 guaranteed to start with the R-Tech engine, and it has a 20-inch cutting path right here for the snow removal. This one also has the rubber paddles on here as well too. This one has what I would call the wave pattern rubber paddles, because they're sort of shaped like a wave as opposed to some of the other ones that are simply going straight across, as opposed to this one right here as well. The good thing about this one is the paddles are removable, so you can definitely take them off and slap new paddles on there if they become worn down on here. And one of the biggest things I always tell people about checking your actual paddle wear on here is you want your paddles to basically be rubbing against the ground. See what I'm doing right here is the paddle is basically completely flat, and it's actually pulling the machine forward. It's actually rubbing right against the ground right here when it's it's going to be picking up snow out here in a realistic term. When these things start wearing down right here, they no longer want to pull the machine forward or away from you. And the other thing is these paddles have to be extremely close in the back against the actual backboard on here. You want the paddles to be almost you have an extremely small amount of gap right there. This one, the guy only used it for a few times, I think about 2 or 3 times, so the paddles are actually in almost brand new shape out here. So the paddles are slightly rubbing in the back right here along the back panel, so in order for it to throw snow, it'll be quite effective throwing snow out there for that, because the paddles are almost brand new on this specific machine. They have virtually no wear whatsoever for them. And as usual, the paddles should be replaced. I personally recommend every 3 or 4 years, or if you're using this machine for some kind of commercial application, I'd recommend replacing them once a season if you're using it on a heavy-duty amount of work out there for that. So we'll move on to the back of the engine right here. This is the R-Tech engine, as I was staying on the specific top of the engine. The thing about the R-Tech engines is they are a 2-stroke, and they do have 2 variations of these specific engines on these machines. They have the one with the black plastic long boy door force carburetor. Most people know that as the black plastic carburetor they had on the typical lawnmower engines that had up to 2004, from I think it was about 98 to 2004, the black plastic carburetors. This one right here specifically, it has a metal carburetor on it. It's actually the upgraded version from the original black plastic one, even though you can't really see it because I got the cover on here, but you can probably look down inside her and maybe just see it a teeny bit. But this is definitely a metal carburetor, and I do recommend, if you are working on one of these machines that has the black plastic carburetor, upgrade it to the new metal carburetor, because if I recall correctly from a couple years back, they did have a TSB outlining the upgrade carburetor design, because the older carburetor design was prone to possible leakage. And if you're fixing one of these machines, I definitely recommend upgrading to the metal carburetor, specifically because of that fact, because we found that out about, I think about 3 or 4 years ago. We had a customer over here and the carburetor was leaking quite bad, and I did some research online, and they do recommend upgrading it from the black plastic one to the newer metal design because of that one fact. So I'll give you a shot of the actual engine tag here, and the model number for the engine as well too. Okay, here's the Briggs and Stratton emissions information right here. Has the 2009 EPA Phase 2, and the date of manufacturer is, let me zoom in on here a little bit there for you guys. Let me see, there we go. Okay, sorry about that. DOM, it has the X on the April right there, and the other tag is 789. It has a little X over the 9, so it's basically a 2009 series engine right here for that. And here's the tag for the specific machine. Let me see, get this thing out of the way here, listed a little bit here for you. It's a model number 38515, and it's serial number 31 0004963, assembled in United States of America right there for that. So let me see if I can get a better shot here for the actual carburetor for you. There you can see the bowl, the metal bowl on there as well too. That's the new design carburetor. So we'll go ahead and fire this thing up here for you guys so you can see it running. I had this thing start probably about 5 minutes ago here, so it should start up relatively quickly out here. And the temperature, it's actually quite nice out here right now. It's about 45 degrees, so we'll go ahead and fire this thing up here for you. It should start in about one pull here. So yeah, there's your startup portion of the video right there. The machine starts up in about one pull when it's warm out there. The carburetor on here was completely filled with black deposits, and the actual inlet tube. They have a redesigned inlet tube on these machines for the actual fuel line on here. The older design for the metal carburetors on some of the other variations of these typical carburetors they have in these machines, it's a lot shorter. This one right here, it's about 1.5 inches long, and we were having problems getting all the debris out of the inlet tube right there for the fuel. It was completely packed with it looked like a brownish red-orange substances, and it was probably caused because the machine was sitting for quite some time in storage unit out there, because the guy told me I guess it was sitting in storage for a few years and he hasn't used it from that time period, because the gasoline in the actual gas tank was about a half full, and it stunk of turpentine and varnish in there, and it was actually had like a bunch of little chunks of it looks like ethanol, because if you're aware of ethanol starts turning into real chunky substance. It almost looks like lard, and over time it basically becomes almost like a rock hard substance out there for that. And that's why I always recommend, if you're going to put something away in storage for any kind of long time period, you have to remove all the gasoline out of the machine, because if you don't, the machine will not start whatsoever next time you pull it out of the garage or storage unit right there for that. We also did check decompression on this machine. Check the ports on here. The ports are in great shape. The compression is about 142 psi, because we checked the ports out, and then the ports did not have any scoring vertically or horizontally on them. It's basically looking brand new in there. The cylinder still has the hone, the hash marks in there as well too. So overall, the machine is in excellent, great shape mechanically and internally as well too. So that's basically everything I'm going to tell you about this machine here for the review. This was the Toro CCR 2450. Guaranteed to start with the R-Tech engine. If anybody has any comments, questions, otherwise, just feel free to leave me a message here, and I'll try to get back to you with any kind of basic help, probably within 24 to 48 hours. I'll see you guys. Have a nice day.